Hey there guys, before I start off this video, I wanted to start off by giving you guys some exciting news. I am actually starting production of my new short film. It's my first short film ever actually. I'm still working on the script, but I plan to get locations down, casting and all that great stuff before I actually start shooting the film. So I'm really excited about that. It is a film called Photo, and it is a short around 10 minute post-apocalyptic film. I'm really excited about, but if you guys want to let me know if you guys want to help at all with it, I'm still looking for people to help out with lighting, camera work, all that great stuff, helping me find locations and all that great stuff. I have an idea who I want to cast as my lead, so I'm not really looking for any actors at the moment. But if you guys want to help out in any way, let me know in the comment section down below. Unless you're a friend of mine or you know me on a personal level, if you do, text me, call me, IM me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want. I don't know, whatever you want. But yeah, so that's that. So let's start this video. So today, instead of reviewing a single film, I'm reviewing 3 different movies in one video. I know it's gonna feel really packed full of information and stuff, but that's how it's going to be. I'm reviewing 3 films by director M. Night Shymalan, and I'm doing this in honor of his new film, The Visit, which is a new found footage type horror thriller type film that came out last night, but I wasn't able to watch it because I was attending to stuff, but I'm going to see it tonight. I'm really excited because I think recently M. Night Shyamalan has done a lot of really shit movies. But I think at the beginning of his career, he provided us with very excellent and well-crafted films, so I'm going to talk about a few of those right now. Now, the first film I'm reviewing is The Sixth Sense, which at the time of its release was a huge phenomenon. Fans, critics, everybody loved it. Great film, I think. Very well-written film, very well acted by both Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment, who are both co-starring in the film. I think they both do a phenomenal job in this film. They were really good, and that's something that I really enjoyed because nowadays you don't see Bruce Willis doing a good job in anything, and you also don't see a lot of good kid actors, and in that film you have both of those things, so that's very impressive. I also really like the cinematography in this film. I think the film is really beautiful. I like the way it is shot. I also want to talk about the plot twist in this film, which is a huge plot twist. I'm not going to spoil what it is, and I hate people saying that there is a plot twist is a spoiler. It's not at all. I'm telling you, there's a plot twist. The movie came out in like the 1990s. There is a plot twist in this film. That's what M. Night Shyamalan is known for, but I'm not going to tell you what the plot twist is, but I think it really adds a lot to this movie, and it kind of adds a lot to it when you rewatch the film as well on a second viewing. It adds something else to it that makes it more interesting to watch and makes you kind of want to rewatch the film and see if you can point out certain things. So yeah, check out that film if you haven't ever seen it. It is currently on Netflix for those of you who have Netflix, so you can watch it whenever you want. I think you should check it out as soon as possible because I don't know how much longer it's going to be on there. Usually popular movies get taken off very quickly on Netflix because they're dicks like that. But yeah, so check it out. The second film I'm reviewing is the one I'm most excited to talk about because I actually think it is my favorite film of M. Night Shyamalan and is probably the most underrated film of all time, in my opinion at least. That is Unbreakable. Unbreakable at its core is a superhero film, but there are so many more layers to this film. There's so much more to it than just being a superhero film. It is not like any other super film you've ever seen, and coming out in 2000 when superhero films weren't really big until Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, which came out a little bit later in 2001, but at that time, superhero films weren't that big, but this film is one of my favorite superhero origin stories ever. It is awesome. This film stars Samuel L. Jackson in it and Bruce Willis again, and I think it is such a great acting job by both of them. They both do a phenomenal job in this film. Bruce Willis does excellent. He's very subtle in this film, and I like that. People always think to have a good performance, you need to cry a lot or you need to have a freak out, but in this film, Bruce Willis does a fantastic job at just doing what he does and being subtle. Samuel L. Jackson also really impressed me in this movie. The guy is just a phenomenal actor. He does great in this film, as always, and yeah. Also, Robin Wright, Jenny from Forrest Gump is in this movie, and even she does a great job, and also so does Bruce Willis' son in the film. He does a great job, so another great kid actor, and I really enjoyed that. But the best part about this film is the impeccably written script. I cannot find a single flaw in this script. It is such an incredibly well-written script. I think if anybody wants to get into screenwriting, take a look at that script because it is a phenomenally well-written script. Probably one of my top 10 favorite scripts of all time. The characters are so well written with very interesting backstories, which adds a lot to the film, especially when the acting complements that as well. It's a nice blend of awesomeness that really makes the film pop out. And one of the greatest things about this film is the cinematography. The cinematography in this film is gorgeous. Every single shot is so well crafted and so gorgeously shot that it just makes this film such a beauty to watch, especially it's aesthetically pleasing to the eyes to watch this film unfold, especially the color palette that is used. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you can point out the detail and the color in this film, it adds so much more to this film and adds an extra layer to it that just make, you know, some casual viewers might not notice, but if you're a film buff and you really like to analyze films, you'll really see the intricate detail, not only in the writing and the acting, but in the color palette that is used and the way the cinematography is handled. Now, the third and final film that I'm reviewing is The Village. Now, I haven't seen Signs, which I would probably review instead of The Village, but I haven't seen Signs. I really want to check it out. I hear it's really great, and I heard it's probably the third greatest film that M. Night Shyamalan has done. But The Village I have seen recently, and I think that it's not an underrated film per se, but I think that it is a misunderstood film. What I hear is that when the film came out, the marketing was really poorly handled. It was marketed as a certain type of film, and we were given a completely different film. And I can understand from that standpoint being really disappointed, but I don't think you should go into a film expecting something and be disappointed when it doesn't give you what you wanted in certain rights. When I go into a movie, I expect a good movie, and if it's bad, I'm not going to like it just because I expect it to be good. But I mean, if you expect a certain type of genre and you go into it and it gives you something else, but it's still good, then I think you should enjoy the film for what it was, not what you thought it should be. Now, the best part about The Village, hands down, is the cinematography. I talked about cinematography in both my previous reviews of both Unbreakable and Sixth Sense, but the cinematography in this film is so gorgeously shot. It's set in a village in a forest, so you have a lot of opportunities to show off some very beautiful nature shots, but it's not very simple. A lot of times when you see a movie that's shot in the nature or in the woods or something like that, you have a lot of shots that look like stock footage. That is not the case in this film. Every single shot that is take place in the woods or the village looks very handcrafted with so much intricate detail put into it. It is lensed, and cinematography is by Roger Deakins, who, if you look at this guy's filmography, has a long list of stunning films that he has worked on, both animated and live action. The guy is a great cinematography, if not the best cinematographer of all time, and it really shows in this film as the cinematography is great. The film was gorgeous, but the problem lies in the writing. I don't think it is a strong script by any means. I think that some of the characters are poorly written. The acting is solid for the most part, with the exception of a few scenes where characters overact, but I think that it is just not very well done in the aspect of the way the story was told and unfolded. The film is not told in complete chronological order. For the most part it is, but some scenes are put before they should have been. If they would have just been pushed to a different spot in the story, a later part in the story, it probably would have been a better flowing story, would have added a lot more suspense to this film, would have made it a better film overall. This film is also on Netflix, so if you want to check it out, definitely check it out. If you're a guy who wants to be a cinematographer, or you enjoy films that look gorgeous but are a little lacking in detail and character development and strong characters, this film is going to be your cup of tea. But if you like strong characters, a well-written script, and a great cinematography, this film's not going to be for you, but check it out if you want to. So those are the three films that I'm going to review of M. Night Shyamalan's little trilogy of films that I enjoy, but I'm really excited to see The Visit. I hope it is a return to form for M. Night Shyamalan. Well, that's all I'm going to say today. Nothing else I really have to say, so I'm going to go. If you want to, like this video, also check out some of my other ones. Make sure to subscribe, share this video if you want, and I'm out.